Well, piece by piece, you're starting to see my collection through different videos in this series. I thought it'd be fun to talk about other people's collections as well. So, in this new series, we're doing one episode at a time. I'm going through with some dear friends and talking about some records that are important to them, showing you pieces of their collection, and just talking about what vinyl means to us. It all starts on this first episode of our new series, Show Me Your 12-inch, and we kick off with my good friend Virgil Brewer, all the way from Hollywood, California, here on this episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. Welcome to another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. And before we get started, like always, I want to remind everybody to please make sure and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification to let you know whenever new episodes drop on our channel. I had the fun idea of, through the wonders of Zoom and sometimes in person, we'll see as things progress, we're going to go through collections that are near and dear to friends of mine. And we are going to start it with tonight's episode, all the way from Hollywood, California. I'd like everybody to welcome my good friend, Mr. Virgil Brewer. As you can see, we spare no expense in this show. When we start this episode, we go right to LA. It's just how we do things. How you doing, man?
Welcome to Hollywood. Must be present to win.
I mean, I'm present via satellite. Does that count?
Yeah. I mean, that's even better. We have to go to outer space and back.
Sweet. Just like David Bowie.
Speaking of vinyl, I do have some Sweet and David Bowie. Anyway.
And we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, and Virgil had the idea for the episode title, Show Me Your 12-inch. And, I mean, it's not false advertising. They're 12-inch records. Sometimes they're 7-inch, but we don't want to talk about those. Well, maybe if they're really cool, I guess.
Size matters.
Oh, man. So before we get into your collection, what, now I don't know if you still own it, but do you recall the first record you ever purchased with your own money?
Yes.
And what was it?
Oh, you want the story?
I do.
So vinyl has been a part of my life since my parents had quite an extensive vinyl collection in the house. They even had a specific cabinet that was a record cabinet.
Oh, like was it one of those like with like the record player built in and stuff like that?
No, it was it had a mirror in the top of it, and it had a door, and then it specifically held records.
Nice.
And it held them flat for some reason. And my parents, they had a lot of wild stuff in there. They had the Dueling Banjos record.
Nice.
There was comedy records. There was Herb Alpert. There was Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. There was God, I mean, it was just, there was like an album by Cher called Half Breed.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like, I just remember it being, there was Tennessee Ernie Ford, and there was just some
versatility,
Yeah, just, I mean, it looked like, and there were a couple of early like Reader's Digest box sets.
Yeah.
With it had all these collections of 50s singles, Love Potion #9, and the Coasters, and the Platters, and the Drifters, and the, that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, and I have older brothers and sisters, so they're all, 10, 12 years, 13 years older than I am. My oldest brother, there's actually a photograph just before I turned 2 or right after I turned 2 years old. He put these big old headphones on me, and played Black Sabbath for the very first time.
Dang.
And
way to warp a kid right off the bat,
the look on my face, because you're hearing the thunder and the lightning from
So it was the first album.
The first album, and the first thing I heard was boom, bing, boom. And I just went, wow. So we had a stereo. We always had a stereo with the separate speakers in the house. They even had some stereo demonstration records where they would have comedy sketches, like where they would slide things from left to right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where people would talk and, these.
Like Spike Jones kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're demonstrating what stereo was. And this was a time when stereo was a really new technology. And I remember it was a Panasonic stereo system. I kept those speakers until about 2008,
Wow.
but we had those from, before I was born in 72. So your question was the very first thing that I bought personally. Well, I went to my cousin Wayne's house, and he had an extensive record collection, and I'm flipping through, and I pull out this Kiss Alive 2, and there's a guy on the front, and he's bleeding. And you know so I couldn't, that was my very first time seeing the trademarked makeup of Kiss. It was the first time, I said, "Who's this?" And he said, "That's Kiss." And I said, "Which one's name is Kiss?" There it is. And and then open it up, show everybody what's inside of that thing, because that's what blew my mind. I put that record on, and then
in the beautiful days of gatefold. So as a kid, you grab this.
Yeah, and just when I put it on, and you hear "You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best, Hottest Band in the World," and you hear the first explosion, that's what I saw. That shot that's a Barry Levine photograph.
Yeah.
And I just went, "Are you kidding me?" When I finally got some money at around 8 years old from mowing lawns, I went right down to Record Town, and I became very acquainted with the owner, and he said,
I remember Record Town.
Showed me where the Kiss records were, and Alive 2 was the first one I bought, so that I could hear Eddie Badlandis. "You wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world, Kiss."
Rest in peace.
That was it.
Yeah.
It changed my life. So that was the first record that I purchased. And then every time I had 15, 20 bucks, back to Record Town, until I went in one day and I had them all.
Yeah.
I had everything he had, I had. And then now I'm stuck. So he said, "Well, there's plenty of great records in here." So I went from K to L, and I pulled out this record that had nothing on it. There was no writing on the record, nothing on the spine, nothing on the front, nothing on the back. And I went, "Is this any good?" Because I thought it was unique because it didn't have any writing on it. He goes, "Is that one any good? You can't go wrong with that. That's Zeppelin 4. And I went, "What's a Zeppelin 4? And he said, "Led Zeppelin. Never heard of them?" Nope. Well, he said, "You can't go wrong with that album." So I purchased it. I took it home, and yeah,
There she is.
you put that thing on, and the first thing you hear is Black Dog, and it plays like a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to When the Levee Breaks,
I still contest that's one of the best productions they ever did. So when did you start getting back into vinyl in your, like, was it in the past few years? Was it when you moved out to LA? When did you start getting back into collecting a more recently?
Well, I never really left it. That was my thing, is that vinyl for me was always the go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my entire now, sadly, I lost an incredible amount of vinyl collection in a storage facility. My parents said, my father said, hey, while you're heading out to California, just leave your stuff here in the storage facility until you can get it out there. He didn't tell me that he needed help with the payment on the place, and so my entire crate of autographed hand carried imports that I carried from Europe back here that are, one of a kinds, and all of the Kiss picture discs,
Oof.
numbered, signed and numbered
Ouch.
shit. Yeah, just some
Oof.
rare, rare shit. All gone. Yep,
Man.
all gone. So, um, even before I bought a record player here in Los Angeles, there's plenty of flea markets,
Mm-hmm.
and I do believe the first one that I purchased when I got here, see if I got it here. I've always been a sucker for picture discs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they don't have the audio quality. Uh,
Nowadays, it's kind of hit or miss.
it is hit or miss. Um,
In the 70s, though, no, no.
Now we'll get to it. I got a pile here, so we'll get to it. It was Ace Frehley's solo album picture disc.
Oh, the Kiss one, the first one.
Yeah,
Nice.
yep, the Ace Frehley Kiss solo album. It's the '78 solo album in picture disc that was the first one I bought, and then I bought a bunch of vinyl for decoration,
Mm-hmm.
not for the music. So I was buying these cheap records for $1 a piece that were all scratched to hell because I wanted the covers,
Right.
the cover art.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can't get with a cassette or a CD. You can't get that big 12 by 12 artwork.
Right.
And so I went to a flea market and bought basically some of my favorite album covers.
Awesome.
And then some of the vinyl inside wasn't half bad. So years later, when I bought a Victrola um, record player, I get to listen to those too.
So is that what
But
you're using now?
yeah, I have a little Victrola, like a suitcase model.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, this thing Bluetooths in and out.
Yeah.
Brand new
Yeah.
technology.
The like I've always said the Crosley suitcase ones are complete and total garbage, but the Victrola ones are really nice. They're especially for the price you pay for them, like they're really nice.
Can't go wrong with Victrola. They've been around a while.
So, getting to the reason we're here, as you said, you've got a stack of records over there. Why don't you start taking us through some of your gems there? Like, you don't have to go through all of them, but like some
Well,
ones that.
I actually, if I don't go through all of them, we don't have a show because I don't
Oh,
have very many.
oh, all right then.
So I'm going to quickly peruse all of them. The first one I'm about to show you has the promo gold stamp.
Yes.
That's a not for sale promo version.
For
Now I
those
get,
for those of you that don't know, the promo stamp, what that means is that record was sent exclusively to radio stations around the world. This is how back in the day, any song you heard on the radio came from these vinyl that were played with the promo stick stamp on them. So if you find those, they're a really cool find and not easy to find a lot of times.
and do you know what the very first independent record label that got major distribution was?
No. Ah, Casablanca.
So if I'm showing you a Casablanca cover, who's the band?
Donna Summer? I don't know.
Could be
I got some hot stuff. Oh, wow.
Angel.
I've
Now,
never seen that.
are you
How
ready for
cool.
this? Are you
Yeah.
ready for this? Take a look at the logo.
Yep. That's so cool. That
The
is so
logo
cool.
is quadrisymmetrical.
What year is that album?
This is 2023. Oh no, the album it came out in 1979.
Wow. Promo copy. That's super cool.
So I thought I would share that.
That's a good one to start with, you know.
In 1984, Kiss was on the
Van Halen, great
Animalized.
album. Sorry.
Kiss was on their Animalized tour.
Mm-hmm.
The very first show that Bruce Kulick was an official member of the band, not just filling in for Mark St. John, was at in Detroit at Cobo Hall, December 8th, 1974.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, and it was filmed for an MTV concert, and it was played on WLLZ, and it became a King Biscuit Flower Hour special.
What a great concert that was, too. Is that the bootleg?
This is the bootleg of December 8th, 1984.
Where did you find that? Is that an Amoeba find?
I go to flea markets, sir.
That's a flea market find?
This is a flea market find.
Wow.
This is unplayed and unlabeled. This is a true bootleg.
Holy crap.
And by the way, this is like the thickest vinyl I've ever held.
At that period, yeah.
And it still has, I don't know if you can see this, but it still has the raw
edge. Look at that.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
And it's 2 platters.
Yeah. Is it the complete concert?
It is the complete show.
How's it sound?
It sounds god awful.
Fantastic.
So
as an old bootleg should.
As an old bootleg should. It is.
You don't get it to listen to it.
Now it is Detroit Rock City, Cold Gin, Creatures of the Night, Fits Like a Glove, Heaven's on Fire, Thrills in the Night, Under the Gun, War Machine, Young and Wasted, sang by Eric Carr with the drum solo, I Love It Loud, I Still Love You, Love Gun, Lick It Up, and Black Diamond. So it's everything. It's everything except the encore.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a gem, sir.
Yes, sir.
What did you pay for it?
U.S. dollars.
No, how many of them?
Oh, I do believe I got it for 20 to 25, maybe.
That's not bad.
No, and by the way, this is a live version of Under the Gun on this album. Now,
that's really cool.
You don't hear that every day. As a matter of fact, you'll never hear it again.
Sadly, yeah.
Ready?
Yep. Ah, the originals. Beautiful.
Now, here's the big deal about the originals. Good luck finding one.
And for those of you who don't know, it's the first 3 Kiss albums later reissued in a collection.
So.
Oh, the inserts are actually the cover. How cool. I've never actually seen a complete one. It's always the paper sleeves. Oh, that's pretty. Is it the track list on the back? It is. Yeah, on the back, it's the back of the album. Very cool.
Yeah, so the paper album covers, and somebody used this album to house all 4 solo album cover puzzle posters.
Oh, that's awesome.
All 4 of the sumbitches are in here.
Wow. So even if you do get the solo albums and they're missing the posters, you can slide them right in there.
Dude, these 4 posters are worth hundreds of dollars.
In mint condition like that, yeah.
Well, they don't even have pinholes in the
right
in the corners.
Right.
The records look unplayed. I got it for $30.
That's awesome.
Flea markets, man. I ain't kidding you.
Yeah.
Mostly I go to the Melrose Flea Market every Sunday. Well, I don't go every Sunday, but it's on every Sunday. They
Yeah.
have one every Sunday. So that's that. Okay. Also a flea market find.
Ah, Love Gun. Yes.
Now, we all have Love Gun,
We all do.
but we don't all have Love Gun with the original sleeve.
I do. Just like that.
And
Yeah.
we all
But what I
don't
don't have is what I think you're about to pull out of there.
I don't have the gun,
Oh, okay.
but the puzzle poster from Rock and Roll Over is in here because Kiss fans like, and
The
that's a
original
sticker.
Kiss Army sticker. Yup.
So people like to house, like they would pull out the insert, the stuff that comes with the records, and then they would put them maybe back in the wrong record, and then they sell them at flea markets
Yeah.
for in the wrong deal. Now, this is one of my prize collections. I keep this with my vinyl. This is a Kiss Archies, but it's signed by the two
Oh,
artists, and Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
awesome.
I actually did the PR for this
Right.
event, so I got my copy.
Was that Apple Comics?
That was Apple.
We went there when I came to visit you. That place was incredible.
That's right, and my very favorite Kiss record.
Mm.
That is
Destroyer.
Destroyer. Now let's see what we got
Heralded
in
by
here
many as their masterpiece. This album right here. Yep.
with the Shout It Out
Original
Loud,
insert.
and then Detroit Rock City lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
um, green vinyl.
Yes. The
So
original.
first,
That's a big tell too.
this
For
is
any of you who don't know, when you go to get a Kiss record, if it has that blue green label, that's a first pressing. All the rest of them are brown. So if you find the blue green, that's a first pressing right there. Oh yes. Where's the cover though?
the cover is
Oh,
artwork.
on the wall. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yes,
So I
sir.
have Glass Houses.
That Billy Joel Glass House is a fantastic album.
This was a very controversial album cover. This was changed.
Okay.
Blind Faith.
Oh yeah. Only
Yep,
paid $5, I see.
they did the non-nude cover, but this album is badass.
It
Blind
really
Faith.
is.
It's now in when we start talking about picture discs.
Yeah.
How about Paul McCartney?
Oh, that's really cool.
No More Lonely Nights
And silly love songs.
and Silly Love Songs
Very
in
cool.
picture disc.
Is it studio or studio
It is
recordings?
studio. It is studio.
Very cool. With wings on the
So,
back there.
but it's a 12-inch single. It's the extended version of No More Lonely Nights.
Okay.
Um, also, that is up for artwork on the Blue London label. This is Let It Bleed
Ah, yes.
in really thick, heavy, probably 180
London were
degrees
really thick. Was it for London, was it blue or red that was the first press?
blue.
Blue, okay.
Yep. Also, for artwork, Who Are You by The Who.
Great, great record.
Also, artwork, uh, Desolation Boulevard, The Suite.
Oh, that's a great album.
Absolutely. Um, Also, for artwork, Welcome to My Nightmare
Ah ha ha.
with the original sleeve, with the little Black Widow with his broken leg.
Featuring the great, late, great Dick Wagner.
Featuring absolutely Dick Wagner. Um,
He wrote most of the tunes on that record with him, didn't he?
that's right. These two records.
Oh, Alive.
Came with the Alive, the full Alive booklet is in here.
Nice.
But I'm using the cover for artwork, for wall art.
Nice.
But this is Kiss Alive. Um, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Ah, yes.
I always love that H.R. Geiger
That album cover is
artwork.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the inner sleeve of Van Halen 1.
Beautiful album.
You don't usually get to see those. So Van Halen 1 is also artwork on the wall. Let's see. Can't even tell what this is by looking at it, because it was one of these.
Oh, with the
Warner
advertisements.
Reprise. So let's
So now you
open
gotta
it.
look and see what the heck it is.
Now I got to see what the hell it is.
It's like Christmas.
Oh, this is Love It to Death. Alice Cooper's
Oh,
Love It to Death.
great record.
The first really that was featuring the single I'm 18.
Yeah.
Produced by a 19-year-old Bob Ezrin. Got this for $5.
Heck yeah.
So that
School's Out. Is it the one with the flip top desk? Yeah.
bet your ass it is.
That's awesome. That's a great record.
By the way, with the green label.
It's in really good shape too.
Not bad, right?
It's really rare. Well, not rare, but it's not common to find the flippy, foldy vinyl when they're still in really good shape.
Also artwork.
Hotel California.
Hotel California.
Eagles.
Also artwork. Now, what the hell is that?
I know I should know who that is.
This, you wouldn't believe the people on this record. Freddie Mercury sang background vocals on a couple of these songs.
Who is
it? And a gal that I used to work. This is Ian Hunter.
Okay.
All American Alien Boy.
I knew he looked familiar. I just couldn't place him.
Now, if you go back to the 80s, this is my autographed copy of Betsy. I had dinner with her.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and here's the band.
That's awesome.
So, and she signed it, bitch. For me. So, and I signed one of my albums for her. This one, Bernie Taupin did a great job writing this album.
So it's Elton John.
Nope.
Oh, he did write for other people too, yeah.
Well, he wrote this one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
From the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this out of the plastic. It's worth the wait.
That's a double door style fold, right? Yeah.
Is that cool?
See, bands don't do this kind of stuff anymore, man.
And
do the doors open?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Isn't that awesome?
That's so cool.
So when you find these, because they reprinted them as with just regular old record covers, you know, here is another copy of Love Gun.
Just in case.
This one I had to get because it's got the order form.
Oh, that's fun.
These order forms are worth more than the records.
No, I understand the holding out for the original style because like I had all of Zeppelin's albums except for one album, and I was holding out until I found the right one. It was Zeppelin 3. And then the original one has a spinning wheel, and when they repressed it, they took the wheel out.
Right.
So I was holding out for a functioning wheel. Ah, yes.
So Gene's solo album, the one that I found, not only has Gene on the label, but you want to find him with the solo album inserts.
Yep.
The order form,
Does it got the poster too?
it does not, but I have the posters in that
Oh, that's right.
original.
Yeah. Yep.
This had the order form in it. So,
That's in really good shape too.
and if I remember right, somebody stuck, yeah, I do remember right. Somebody stuck an old Gene Simmons Team Beat, or is it TV Superstar poster in here.
Oh, that's fun. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
But
Love gun era Gene right there.
but got Sean Cassidy on the back.
Well, all right then. One of these things is not like the other, you know.
Well, that was the 70s. I mean, who
Yeah,
was big? It was, Kiss
Kiss
and
and the Partridge
the Bee
Family
Gees
and the Bee
and
Gees.
the Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about the 70s, right?
yeah.
Um, this is when I got back into vinyl.
There it is.
Now, this fucking thing is sealed.
Oh, that's awesome.
I left it sealed.
In my
But
opinion, the best solo album of the four.
it's a cut corner.
What that means is that was one time after it came out originally was placed on a clearance rack.
That's
They,
right.
they cut the
I don't know.
corners to.
I don't know who Clarence is, but
I said clearance.
right.
Clarence is no
Okay,
longer
so this
alive. He
one
played
is
with Bruce Springsteen. He's not alive anymore.
this one's special.
Ooh.
Lace and whiskey,
Alice
but
Cooper.
here's something you don't usually see. You don't usually see it with the full insert.
Oh, very cool.
And everything is in typewriter typeface.
Mm-hmm.
You also don't get to see it
With the
with
order
the
form.
Alice Cooper fan club and join or die. Thank you, Coop.
There's ever one man who totally always understood his gimmick.
That's right. All right, let's see. We're getting to the end of it here. Not all vinyl is 12 inches.
That's a 10, right?
This is a 10-inch record.
Yeah. Ozzy and Motorhead. Now, if I
And
remember correctly, that was a record store day release, right?
that's right. And
Yep.
thick as hell.
180-gram vinyl.
180-gram vinyl. It
Which
only
is the
has
way to
one.
go nowadays. 180-gram vinyl sounds incredible.
It does sound good. The only thing that's on here is Hellraiser.
Yep.
So it is. So what's on here is
It's different mixes, right?
no. One is Hellraiser by Ozzy. The other is Hellraiser by Motorhead,
Right.
and then
With the demo.
the other side is a mashup.
Oh, fun. Very
But
cool.
I love the photograph.
That cover's amazing. Also, fun fact, Lemmy was responsible for writing one of Ozzy's biggest hits ever.
That's correct.
Mama, I'm Coming Home, written by Lemmy from Motorhead.
That's right.
Man, could that guy write some lyrics.
There's Nightmare.
Oh, yeah. You should probably put that in the sleeve.
Yeah, I will.
Interview
Picture disc.
Kiss interview disc. Those were a humongous rage in the 80s. It was a really big thing. I remember a bunch of friends had like U2 and Kiss and Van Halen, and it was a big thing.
This one is numbered 2120.
Nice.
Yep. So the interview is from 1981.
Mm-hmm.
During the Elder.
But the pictures look like animalized, right?
The pictures are animalized.
Yeah.
This also came out of, now this is not in great shape, so I'm going to have to be very careful with this.
They can't all be winners.
This came out of see if I can hold this up without it falling apart. It's about 50 years old. This came out of the Hotel California
Oh
album.
yeah, the
It
original
is
poster.
it's a 3-panel poster,
Mm-hmm.
which I really would like to get framed.
That'd be gorgeous on the wall.
Um, I had to get another Fraley picture disc
Ack.
just because I found one, and
All right,
it
Curly.
had, yeah. So I got that, and then
What is that one?
The Doors, Strange Days.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Which that photographer, I believe, is the same photographer, Joel Brodsky, that shot the first Kiss album.
Oh, very cool.
Here's the cover to Love It to Death.
Yep. Somebody
And
should put that together with the record.
I will. But I've been listening to these,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So. And then I have an REO Speedwagon 9 Lives. Not
Oh, yeah.
Aerosmith 9 Lives.
I've gotten
But there's
Aerosmith 9 Lives, but not that one.
there's the
Very
nine
fun.
cats, right? And
That's
then
fun.
what was on this album? Nothing. No. Back on the Road Again
Oh, that's a great song.
was the single off of this.
That one and Riding the Storm Out were always two of my favorites.
Right. So, and then all right, the last two.
Ah, another record store day release
Fraley's Bronx Boy.
from the Spaceman album, right? Oh, that's
Black and white
pretty.
marble vinyl.
Oh, that's gorgeous. What's the B side?
B side is White Room
Mm,
and
from the
Cold Gin with
those are both
special
from the covers album. Yeah.
Cold Gin with special guest Mike McCready.
Yep.
It has a remix of Reckless on it as well.
Yeah, the covers were from the Origins Volume 1 album.
Right. And
Both of
then
those albums were so good.
so the song Bronx Boy only appears on this 12 inch.
It's not on the Spaceman album?
It's not on there.
Oh.
And the last but not least,
The almighty Ozzy.
in the box.
Patient number 9. This is the deluxe edition here, which means that inside are some goodies.
This is the you won't believe all the shit that's in here version.
Now we've talked about this album on our channel before, and it is an amazing record. There's the
comic book.
Todd McFarlane, one of my favorite artists in the whole universe, right there.
And then the album.
Yes.
Outside of the box.
It's colored vinyl, right?
It is not.
I thought it was.
Oh,
Isn't that the
colored vinyl?
It's the indie store one, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is totally colored vinyl.
Because you got that at Amoeba, didn't you?
I certainly did.
Yeah, so it's the indie record store version. Yeah.
So here is the insert.
I love his font.
Right? And then
it never changes.
Here are the two platters.
Mm-hmm.
Patient number 9.
Now wait till you folks see what this bad boy looks like.
The label is different on the other side.
Yep, I've seen this before, but wait till if you haven't seen this, look at that. That is just it's gorgeous.
Isn't that sexy?
That's really cool. Have I showed you the one that I have, the color of mine?
Oh yes.
It's a blood red with black. Yeah. Ozzy gets it, man. Well, his marketing team.
Oh, and also,
that's so pretty.
Also, the download card from Ace Frehley.
Fantastic.
So that's some of the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, I love the old school picture discs. That's so fun. Like the interviews aren't really that great to listen to, but they're so cool to hang up on the wall. You know what I mean? And that's the best thing. Like I always say, like I love the tangibility of vinyl, and as you talked about earlier, it always transports me back to being 10, 12 years old with my parents' records sprawled out on the floor, gatefold wide open, headphones on, listening to the records, reading the lyrics, reading the liner
Mhm.
notes. Because back then it was an experience. It was nowadays, and I won't get on too big a soapbox and we'll be here for 5 hours, but nowadays music is kind of just what is going on in the background.
Yeah,
But back
it's become a passive listening experience.
but when you have vinyl, you're forced to focus on the experience, and I love that. I went out and bought a record today before we got together to film this. Like
Of course you did.
I love it. You know what I mean? And plus, the channel needs content, sir. But um but it's doing this channel has really afforded me the fortune of like reconnecting with that even more. And it's so fun to get to do it with people too. Like I'm happy you wanted to be on this and to do this. I plan on doing this with a lot of different people. I really appreciate you being part of this.
Well,
You know,
thanks for the invitation, first of
yeah,
all,
of course.
and thanks for the the 2 week notice before we did this so that I could be prepared.
Spare no expense.
Spare no expense. Hell, didn't spare a minute.
No.
Look, Todd literally asked me about 2 minutes before we got on here.
I'm like, hey, I got this idea. You're like, give me 5 minutes. Okay. This is
That's how we roll.
because, well, and also people out in your neck of the woods have to always be prepared.
That's right.
We don't mess around.
No, we don't. We don't let no grass grow under these feet.
Right. So, yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And, yeah, we will see you next time for another episode on Todd's Turntable Talk. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, thank you for letting me show you my big 10-inch.
12-inch.
Oh, size matters.